Howdy, folks, and welcome to another day in the Milky Way. Oh, and tonight we got a good one for you. We're going to be coming to you from H.P. Blavatsky, The Secret Doctrine, Volume 1. Anyway, I've been studying on some of this stuff, and it is a very satisfying knowledge. You know, I don't know. There's good things to be found all over the world. Some from the different religions here and there. There's always diamonds in the dust. But she was a Russian immigrant, or she was a Russian gal. She studied all over the world, United States, Indians. The American Indians. She studied a little bit of everything. Most of the stuff she went to India and she studied there a lot. I like her works. I like the Indian thoughts there. They were way ahead of their time. I do believe, for the most part, I think in the big picture, the scheme of things, they have something to teach you and an end result. And I think that's what gives me hope when you look at these kinds of teachings. Because unlike the Christian, the Bible religion kind of thing, which to me, this is my opinion, seems to take you down a road where it loops over and over. And we're going to go through that season again, where you literally have Christmas, Easter, you learn about everything, and about every 5 years, it seems like you go back and you start at square one and you learn it all over again. You can read the Bible from front to back, and then there's no stepping point where you attain any more information. Why is this? That's my big question. So you can study and study and study, and where are you going to go with this? I mean, so like in these types of how should I put it, spiritual awakening dealies, you work your way up. You go through a mental change, a physical change, a enlightening process. There is a process here, whereas in some of these, like Jewish or Christianity or some, there is no process. Well, there is a process, but it's really short. I believe, I will do, I commit, and I got to go through Jesus to get to God, and then there it is. I pray a lot, and I pray some more. And when you're all done praying, you keep praying. And, maybe it works for some people. Good for you. But it seems like from everything I read that smart people, the more knowledge you get, the less you kind of tend to follow the God thing in the real, or should I point at the religious thing. You kind of finally get to a step where you go, I've done this, I've seen that. This is my own opinion. Yeah, but how do you get out of that? And they keep you confined in that type of religions. Some of those where you don't think out of the box. It's like, you listened to some music that wasn't on our list. You went to a movie that wasn't on our list. You can't think thoughts that don't belong to this religion. And we have a, so that, what are you talking about there? Are you talking about socialism or communism? So hate me if you want to. Love the haters, love the likers. If you want to do one or the other, send me an email. But anyway, we're going to get right into this. Enough of my babbling. She studied this stuff, wrote several books. We are going to go right to one of those books, this book, and I will show you the book that I am reading from, because that's what's important here. Not me, it's them. And we're going to go to this, and voila, there you go. I'll put my ugly mug in there, and there we go. The Secret Doctrine. Well, on page 45 of The Secret Doctrine, it talks about time. So tonight we're going to talk about time. Time was not for the lay asleep in the infinite bosom of duration, it says. Yes. So, time is only illusion, produced by a succession of our states of consciousness as we travel through the eternal duration, and it does not exist that where no consciousness exists, in which the illusion can be produced but lies asleep. The present is only a mathematical line which divides the part of eternal duration which we call the future from the part which we call the past. Well, I guess that's a good and fair way to sum it up. Nothing on earth has real duration, for nothing remains without change, or the same. For the billionth part of a second, and the sensation we have as is the actuality of the division of time known as the present. The present is only a fraction of time. Can you believe that? Just a fraction of a second. Come with the blurring of the momentary glimpse or the succession of glimpses of things that our senses give us. As those things pass from the region of ideals, which we call the future, to the region of memories that we name the past. I guess that's a man-made thing. The future, something we don't know. The past is something we already know as history. In the same way, we experience a sensation of duration in the case of instantaneous electric spark by reason of the blurred and continuing impression on the retina. Yeah, it does take a while for light to hit your eye. And once it hits the eye and it goes into your brain, what you've seen is already the past, believe it or not. Okay. By reason of the blurred and continuous impression of the retina, the real person or thing does not consist solely of what is seen at any particular moment, but is composed of the sum of all its various and changing conditions, from its appearance in the material form to its disappearance from the earth. It is these sum totals that exist from eternity in the future, and pass by degrees through matter to exist for eternity in the past. No one could say that a bar of metal dropped into the sea came into existence as it left the air and ceased to exist as it entered the water, and that the bar itself consisted only of the cross section thereof, which at any given moment coincided with the mathematical plane and that separates and at the same time joins the atmosphere and the ocean. Even so, of persons and things which dropped out of the to be into the has been, out of the future and into the past. So I get what she's saying is that you see something, and the moment it disappears, it's in the past. It's kind of like having a strobe light on. You ever turn on a strobe light, watch a strobe light flash real fast, and it looks like something's moving towards you or moving away or moving across the room. That thing is always moving, but you're only getting little glimpses of it. And eventually, if you shut the light off, it looks like it disappears. It's out of your mind, you know. So even so, persons and things which dropped out of the to be into the has been, out of the future into the past, presently, momentarily to our senses, a cross section, as it were, of the total selves as they pass through time and space or matter, on their way from one eternity to another, and these two constitute the duration in which alone anything has existence. We're to our senses but able to recognize it there. There's lots to be said by time. Time, being there and then gone. We're anticipating the future, imagining it in our heads, and then just like that, it comes and it goes, and then we move on. And it happens so fast that we never really give it a thought because we're living in the present. We're always living in the present, and as fast as it becomes, the future comes, it becomes our present, and now it's the past. So don't ever regret doing something in your past. It can't be undone. You can only undo things that may happen in the future. So plan ahead, I should say. That's what I would like to say. Oh, come on. People always calling me. Don't be calling when I'm doing the show. So, anyway. The universal mind and the let's see. We're going to go on with the universal mind. Third of the number. Okay, let's talk about this. Causes of misery. Mind is given the sum of the states of consciousness grouped under thought, will, and feeling. There's a lot to that. Let's see. The ages. Here, let's talk about the ages. That's about 7 eternities. Thus, the robes stand for the numerous and indifferential cosmic matter. It is not matter as we know it, but the spiritual essence of matter and the co-eternal, and even one with space. It is abstract sense, root nature. It is also the source of the subtle, invisible properties in visible matter. Yes, visible matter. It is the soul, or to say, one infinite spirit. The Hindus call it Malaprati. I'm sure I'm pronouncing that badly, and say it is the primordial substance, which is the basis of the upadadi, or vehicle in which phenomenon, whether physical, mental, or psychic, is the source from which our Akashics radiates. By the 7 eternities, eons, periods are meant. The word eternity, as understood by the Christian theology, has no meaning to the Akashic ear, except that in the application to the one existence, nor in the term serendipity, and internal only in futurity. Anything better than a misnomer. Such words do not and cannot exist in physiological metaphysics, and were known till the advent of eschatological Christianity. The 7 eternities meant are the 7 periods, or the 7 or period answering in this duration to the 7 periods of the Mahabharata, and extending through the Mahakapala, or the Great Age, 100 years of Brahma, making the total, trillions of 311 trillion billion years. Each year of Brahma being composed of 360 days, and the same number of nights of Brahma, reckoning of the Kalahandra, or lunar year, and the day of Brahma consisting of 4,320,000 blah 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 mortal years. You'll never live that long, so don't worry about it, people. These eternities belong to the most secret calculations, in which, in order to arrive at the true total, each figure must be 7 to the power of x varying according to the nature of the cycle in the subject or real world. Well, I'm guessing that Neither you or I are going to do that kind of math, but either way, it's just a really long time. The subjective or real world and every figure or number relating to the representing of all different cycles from the greatest to the smallest in objective or unreal world must necessarily be multiples of 7. The key to this cannot be given, or herein lies the mystery, or of esoteric calculations. And for the purpose of ordinary calculations, it has no sense. The number 7 is a cool number. It isn't my preferred number, but it is a cool number. Number 7. 7 is the Kabbalah number here, there. It is a great number of the divine mysteries. Numbers 10, yes, number 10, that of all human knowledge, Pagarith in decade. 1,000 is the number 10 to the third power, and therefore the number 7,000 is also symbolic. In the secret doctrine, the figure and the number 4 are the male symbol only on the highest plane of abstraction. On the plane of the matter, the 3 is the masculine and the 4 the female. The upright and the horizontal in the 4th stage of symbolism, when the symbols become the glyphs of the generative powers of the physical plane. Well, how interesting is that? Lots of numbers there. So take it like that. 7,000, 7, 7, 7 to the third power. There's got to be something with the sevens, but when you get into these big numbers, it's like, it's just time, or it's just space. Multiples of 7, multiples of 10. The 3 is the male and the 4 is the female. Or no, 4 are the male symbols. Yes. The secret doctrine, the figure and number 4 are the male symbol. Yes. Okay. So the 4 is the male symbol and 3 is the masculine and 4 is the female. Well, there you go. On different planes. Well, I don't know what I'm talking about there. I'm glad she explained that really well, because I have to learn something from all of that. I don't see any more about time right here, but we got the gist of it. Time is only what you make of it, people. You have only so many days. How many days have you been on this earth? That's the bigger question. Let's see. Let's stop sharing. And there I am. Look at that. So it's like, how many days have you been here? 360 times how many years you are old. So if you're, say, 50 years old, times that times 360, and then you can figure out how many days you've been on this earth living your life. Thousands and thousands of days. What have you done in those days? Now, doesn't it sound insignificant? Most of your day, figure, 6 to 8 hours of your day is spent sleeping. And if you work or go to school, you spend another at least 8 hours a day doing that. 5 to 6 days a week at least. Sometimes some of us do it 7 days a week. Then you got more time spent getting ready to go to work. And when you boil it all down, how much time do you really have for yourself to do those things in life that you want to do? And then you think of how little time you actually had. So make every day count, because it's all important. Every day is special. And try to spend more time for yourself, because if you divide it up into little sections, there isn't much time for yourself. You're always working or you're sleeping. And you got to do both. You can't go without sleep. So divide it up wisely. Take your time, do your stuff, and have some fun. There you go, people. And you're not Santa, so you can't stop time and go all right around the world and experience everything in 1 second. So you have to use it wisely. So use your time wisely. Don't be foolish with your time. Time is valuable. That's why when you go to work, they pay you for it. If it wasn't valuable, you'd give it at will. You'd be like, eh, I got plenty of time. And you'd have more time. Think about it. If we all lived like 200 or 300 years, you wouldn't think much of it. And you'd be a better person, probably, too. Think of how much time you could concentrate on trying to perfect your skill. If you were a painter or a welder or a plumber, and you could go to school and you could learn that trade, be well off. But instead, we're all in a rush to learn stuff, then go out and do it. By the time we finally master that art of whatever we're really good at, we're kind of done. And then we're put out to pasture. And then we think of the good old days, just 20 years or 10 years ago. And then you think, oh, those were the days just 10 years ago. Well, time is fast. And it's going faster all the time. It seems like it to me anyway. Does it seem like time is speeding up for you? I don't want to bore you with that, but time is time. Use it wisely. I guess there's something to be said with that, using your time wisely. Don't waste it away. Make every minute count. And stay here as long as you possibly can and experience, because, you experience things, and then if you make it to the other side, you have all that knowledge. You can't take any of these physical things with you. No matter what you do, you should be able to take your memories. Now, you can't bring your memories back if you have another life, but you get to take the ones you've had, your experiences here, and move on to a new life or the other side. And if you it's like, filling your cup up. Fill your cup to the top, then overfill it. Let it run down the sides, because that's what you're taking. Your knowledge, your imagination, your experiences, the beautiful sights you've seen, the things you did. That's why we're here. We got these bodies, and we can touch stuff that is soft. We can see things that are beautiful. Breathe in stuff. Breathe in. Take a deep breath and go, wow, that was cool. Breathe in some good fresh air or some beautiful flowers. Cook a wonderful meal and breathe it in and go, wow, that smelled really good. So do those things. That's what counts. We're just going to end it there, and we're going to say make it a great day. With that, everybody, go out, do something nice for somebody, because that's what'll count. When you get there, when you're doing things, it'll be better for you to give. Don't give so much that you lose yourself, but give enough to others that it fulfills you. Because the more you put out, the more the universe will fill you back up. That's just kind of how it works. If you're stingy and greedy, somehow or another it'll come to bite you in the butt. So give out something, and things will come back at you. It's a weird way of saying it, but I don't know. You want to know more about it? Let me know. Email me. Explain what I'm trying to say and how you feel about it. The description and link are in, my email is down below in the description. Why don't you do that? I'd love to hear from you. Thank you very much. Everybody have a wonderful, great day. Go out and do something nice for somebody. Remember, be the frequency you want to receive. And peace, everybody.